He left America to build a dream in Nigeria. He believed that purpose lived beyond borders, beyond fear, beyond comfort. He came to create, to build, to begin. 8 days later, they found him in the forest. This is not a movie. This happened. This true-life folktale begins in a quiet place called Alubata, a small town tucked behind old hills and whispering cocoa leaves, a place where memories never truly fade, no matter how many centuries pass. Alubata is not a town you find on big maps. It's a place carried by the people, in their stories, in their songs, in the red dust that clings to their feet. Many years ago, at a strange hour of the night, something unusual happened. The moon was still hanging over the rooftops of mud houses, casting a pale silver glow on sleeping goats and silent trees. But then, the cock crowed, not once, not twice, but loudly, as if morning had arrived too early. People opened their doors, confused. "Why is the cock calling the sun before its time?" they whispered. In a small clay house, a baby boy entered the world. The midwife later swore, till her dying day, that she saw something bright on the baby's forehead. Not a light like fire, not a reflection, something else, a sign. His parents named him Adeyinka. The elders nodded knowingly. Children born under strange signs often carried the weight of destiny. People whispered that he was born for greatness. And so the boy grew. Adeyinka grew up like many children in the village, barefoot, wild with laughter, racing through cocoa farms with other boys, chasing stubborn grasshoppers that refused to be caught, fetching water from the cold, singing stream, and sleeping on a mud floor that cooled the skin at night. In those nights, when the moon shone through the cracks in the roof, Adeyinka would turn on his back, stare up at the pale light, and whisper to himself, one day, I will bring that moon to my mother." He didn't know what it meant, but the moon knew. The elders say destiny speaks before a child understands its language. His father tapped palm wine for a living, hands brown with tree sap, feet tough as stone from walking the forest. His mother sold a kara by the roadside, her fingers always warm with hot oil, her smile feeding the community as much as her food did. They worked so their children would not suffer, and the children worked with them, as all good children do. Then one day, everything changed. A letter arrived. The envelope carried a smell of foreign places, a smell that did not belong to Alubata. It came from Canada. Then another came from America. The world was calling. Adeyinka packed one small Ghana must-go bag, looked around at the only home he had ever known, and knelt at his mother's feet. He kissed them gently and said, "I'm going to bring the moon home. No one will suffer again." And just like that, the boy of the moon began a journey thousands of miles long. He crossed roads, he crossed oceans, he crossed skies. In America, life changed shape. He studied hard, worked harder, and became Engineer Adeyinka, a man respected for his brilliance. He wore fine suits, signed important documents, worked with big numbers and big machines, married a gentlewoman named Funmilayo, the kind of woman who loved softly but fiercely. Together they had 4 beautiful children. Every December, without fail, a container arrived in Alubata. Bags of rice, tins of milk, new clothes, household goods, things people had only seen in movies. His parents became respected overnight. People greeted his mother with smiles, calling her Mama Dollar. Yet success is a strange thing. It warms the body, but it rarely satisfies the soul. At night, even in winter, Adeyinka would step outside into the snow, tilt his head upward, and stare at the same moon he saw as a child. The moon never stopped watching him. Something, Something deep inside him kept calling him home. When he turned 55, the feeling became too strong to ignore. It was as if the land itself whispered his name. So he gathered his family and said, "I must go home. I want to build something that lasts." He returned to Nigeria and bought 200 acres of land between Igbajo and Okeila, good fertile land with old roots and ancient stories. He planted orange trees, cassava, plantain. He spent hours walking the soil, testing it with his hands like the farmers who raised him. And then he built a lodge, a beautiful lodge with red roofs and cool rooms. He named it Ààbò-Sùn, which means "come and rest." At the gate was a sign, "Where the road forgives the traveler." And truly, that place felt like forgiveness. When Ààbò-Sùn opened in 2021, the whole town danced. Masquerades returned after 10 long years. Palm wine flowed like a river. Children played until moonrise. His mother danced until her legs shook beneath her. Adeyinka stood on the balcony watching it all and whispered proudly, Now the crown sits well." But life teaches us something. Some lands are jealous of success. In July 2022, Adeyinka left America for one more visit. He hugged Funmilayo and told her, "It's a short trip. I just want to make sure the lodge is doing well." When he arrived in Alubata, children chased his car, shouting, "Baba London, Baba London." For 8 sweet days, he walked through his farm at sunrise. He ate roasted yam under the mango tree with his workers. He trained the staff, especially Bukola, the young, bright receptionist. He told the cooks, "Every plate must taste like home." They teased him, "Daddy, you will bury us all." But though he laughed, his eyes never fully smiled. The moon knows when danger walks close. Then came July 28th, a day burnt orange like ripe pawpaw. Adeyinka sat outside the lodge drinking water, enjoying the breeze. Then metal slammed against the gate. Bang, bang, bang! 6 armed men stormed in, eyes red, guns long, voices cold. "Where is Engineer Adeyinka?" they barked. He stood up slowly, hands raised in peace. "My brothers, please, whatever you want, we can talk. These young people are innocent." But they did not come for talk. They came for 100 million naira. They grabbed him. They grabbed Bukola. And they grabbed Sunday, a simple okada rider who had only come to collect his money. They dragged them into Erin Forest, a forest with a reputation darker than night. Even hunters avoid it after sunset. In that forest, Adeyinka begged for mercy. There is still a voice note, shaky, painful, where he said, "My brothers, I left everything abroad to help this land. My mother is old. My children are young. Take everything. Please, let these children go home." The family tried desperately. They sold land, called relatives abroad, Canada, London, Houston. They raised 10 million naira. They delivered it. The kidnappers collected the money and sharpened their machetes. On August 2nd, hunters found 3 bodies on a lonely bush path. Adeyinka's eyes were open, facing toward Alubata, as if he was still trying to go home. Bukola's school bag was still on her back. Sunday's helmet had rolled far away. Even the strongest men cried that day. When the news reached his mother, she did not scream. No. Pain like that steals the voice. She walked slowly to the front of the lodge, sat on the bare ground, and began sweeping the sand with her bare hands. "He promised me the moon," she whispered. "Who will bring it now?" Her palms bled. The sand turned red. In America, Funmilayo fainted at the airport. The children cried until their eyes swelled shut. Today, Ààbò-Sùn still stands, but the signboard is fading. Grass has swallowed the courtyard. Orange fruits rot beneath the trees. The laughter that once filled the place has become silence. Sometimes a traveler knocks, And the old gateman opens the gate with trembling hands, saying, "Welcome to Ààbò-Sùn." The owner built it with love. He only slept here 8 days. And when the harmattan wind blows through the orange trees, local people say they hear a soft whisper, "Adeyinka, when are you coming home?" But the moon no longer answers. It only cries. This happened in August 2022. The man was Adeyinka, 55 years old, a man who carried the moon home and was swallowed by the forest he tried to bless. So if your sister in Manchester or your brother in Atlanta says they want to come home and build something, sit them down, give them palm wine, tell them this story, because sometimes the land does not welcome its children, sometimes it eats them. Return carefully, build carefully, give quietly, and never walk alone. Ase, may the road be soft for all who return. Adeyinka, sleep well.